The first webinar is to provide an orientation of the island in regard to the geography. Roatan is located a short 2 to 2.5 hour flight that lands directly on the island from Houston, Miami, and Atlanta on United, American, and Delta Airlines. There are also direct flights seasonally from Canada and Europe. The island of Roatan is the largest of 62 islands and keys that make up the Bay Islands of Honduras. Roatan is approximately 35 miles long and is 2.5 miles wide at its widest location. Unlike many other tropical islands, Roatan is not just a bump in the water, in that it has considerable elevations which are beneficial in many ways. The elevation increases from the west side of the island to the east side and increases from about 750 feet above sea level to about 1,100 feet. These elevations are great for both outstanding views of the Caribbean and at the same time provide great breezes, predominantly from the southeast. Roatan is lush with both green and flowering vegetation on much of the island. As seen in these photos, the coral reef completely surrounds the island and is a part of the second largest barrier reef system in the world. The reef is very beneficial, providing habitat to a huge community of sea life. It also provides substantial protection from the very infrequent hurricanes that are normally a threat in the eastern Caribbean islands. The hurricanes we experience on Roatan are most often not the ones that come across the Atlantic from Africa and end up in the eastern Caribbean, Florida, and the east coast of the U.S., or in the Gulf of Mexico, and west to Belize. The storms we encounter most often come up from South America and are normally later in the season. That said, Roatan averages a hurricane about every 24 years. Roatan is not considered to be in any hurricane path. Now for this geography webinar, I will split the island into 3 distinct sections: west, middle, and east. We will start with the western part of the island, geographically about a third or less of the total. This section of the island is where most visitors become familiar with Roatan, whether it be from being on vacation or while on a day visit on a cruise ship. This area includes West Bay, where the world-famous West Bay Beach, proclaimed to be one of the top 10 beaches in the world by the International Living Organization. This western third would include the village of West End, West Bay, the areas of Sandy Bay, Blue Harbor, and the local municipal of Coxon Hole. Coxon Hole is where the government center, or city hall for the western half of the islands, is located, along with the property registry and judicial offices are for all of the Bay Islands are located. If you are from the U.S., Coxon Hole would be like the county seat. This western section is the most established tourism area of the island, including a large quantity of places to stay for visitors, with shops, restaurants, and some very nice planned communities. The western third of the island is the most developed section of the island, the choice of many for their visit, and normally the highest in demand for people who wish to purchase real estate, and normally higher in price than any other locations. The middle section of the island is centered by the city of French Harbor. This middle section is considered the commercial section of the island. The middle portion of the island has the majority of its citizens made up of local islands of various cultures. It has the island's very few fast food operations and its only real shopping mall. It is also home to 2 of the more popular and beautiful, most foreigner-populated communities, including the new Pete Dye Design Championship Golf Course and the surrounding community. Clarion Suites is also located in French Harbor. The middle of the island is also home to the power company called RACO, where all the fuel for the island is imported, processing of shrimp for foreign markets, and the shipping industry that provides delivery by ocean from Miami and the mainland of Honduras. Now, the eastern end of the island is also the most undeveloped and pristine portion of the island, with some sections of it still available by boat access only. If you want a place that is away from it all, this is a good place to start. It does have some local communities where the local hardware store, groceries, gasoline, schools, and churches, but overall has a far more rural feel to it than the west or the middle sections have. This end of the island offers some of the best diving and snorkeling in the world on its pristine virgin reefs. The flats fishing and deep sea fishing can also be extremely good, with independent producers of fishing shows known to visit its shores to generate TV fishing shows. Promote dive resorts offer packages to get away from it all. The furthest east end of the island has one of the largest black mangrove stands in the world, which acts as a filtration and purification system for the crystal clear waters of the Caribbean. Keep the reef in its pristine condition. I hope you have enjoyed this webinar and has given you a good overview of the island geographically to help you plan your visit to Roatan. On our next on-demand webinar provides information on the entire country in regard to various cultures, terrain, and includes various things to do and places to visit. Thanks for watching and see you next time.